Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming podcast. Today is the 2nd December of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I am one of your two hosts for this evening, the second being Tygergamer. Hello Tiger, how are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How about you?
Yeah, I'm tired, but yeah, I'm hoping it's just, some seasonal chills. I'm really hoping I'm not sick because I work with children
Yeah.
and they're little carriers. They carry a lot of diseases, so I hope I didn't catch
Yeah.
anything from them.
Yeah.
So wish me luck with that one.
Yeah.
But we are here to talk about video games, so let's do that.
All right, let's do it.
So if you don't mind, I'll start this week.
Okay.
So the first game I played this week is a little puzzle platformer called Incredible Mandy. Let me put on a trailer for our viewers. And I gotta say, I'm just not sure what to think of this. I just didn't have fun with it. The thing is, I didn't play that much of it. I only got to play about, I don't know, hour, maybe hour and a half of this, so my opinion is totally not fully formed. I will say this. But I'm also of that opinion that if a game doesn't catch your interest within its first hour, there's a problem there. And I really feel that this is the problem with Incredible Mandy. So, first off, let me start with a positive. The game looks amazing. Like, seriously, like, it's not the highest fidelity of graphics, but the style is just amazing. And it's steaming with atmosphere. It's really colorful, and I really like that. The music is also pretty good. And so far from what I've seen about the story seems really good as well. Now on to the negative. Mostly movement, which I personally find to be a pretty big deal in a puzzle platformer. So, movement, it feels somewhat sloppy. Nothing feels really precise. There's combat for some reason in the game, which is about, there's a minion in front of you and you just smash it until it dies. Then you stand there for a moment because your health auto regenerates, so there's really no point to these fights. The puzzles themselves are pretty cool. I will say that you're pretty much trying to always find a way to open another avenue to progress further. Hopefully the combat does get better because from what I've seen in the trailer and the videos, there are a lot more enemies further in. But man, if the combat is still as unresponsive, that's not gonna be fun. You get an ability to use your bow. I think that would help a lot, just trying to kite everything and just shoot arrows at everything from a distance. That could really help. But honestly, I think the biggest problem is I just didn't give this game enough time. So I think it gets better. It does have positive reviews on Steam. And it's fairly cheap. It's €12.49. I'm assuming that means $15 for you Americans. But yeah, for that price, it seems fine. And if you like a story-based game, I think this one actually, thanks to the fact that it's really, really colorful, would be perfect for young teenagers. Let's say 12, 13, 14, something along those lines. I think those would really enjoy it. And honestly, because I didn't give this game more time, that's really all I can say about it. Also, one more thing. Some of the patches have really, really helped this game. Like, for example, last patch note says increased assisted aiming sensitivity on the target sword. So yeah, that really helps. Some fixes. I had the game crash on me once during my hour and a half, so that wasn't obviously good, but I had one of the really early versions. I think I had like actually had 1.00. So, yeah, sadly that didn't help to make my opinion either as well. Okay, what about you? What did you get to play this week?
Well, I only have to play one game this week, and that is Red Dead Online.
Oh, you got to play Red Dead Redemption, but online.
Online.
So tell us about it.
Well, well, to start off, yeah, it's Red Dead Redemption, but online. You get to create your own character, and you get to experience their own story. And unfortunately, there's only like 6 to 8 story missions so far in the online mode. And also, I like to say this is a beta, so the full version's not out yet. But so far, I've enjoyed it. But one of the biggest problems I have with it is the economy.
Okay, how so?
Like if you want to buy a new gun or a new weapon, it costs 4 times more to buy a weapon online than it does in single player. And not to mention, there's 2 currencies. You got your cash that you earn from regular gameplay, and you also earn this other currency called gold, which you only earn like 1/10 of a gold bar after each match. So, yeah.
And how much gold do you need to buy something cool?
If you want to buy something really cool, like really expensive, it'll cost you around like over 100 gold bars if you want to buy something that's really expensive.
Holy hell, that's a lot. So is there any other way to gain this gold? And please don't say microtransactions.
So far they have not implemented the store yet, but by the way the gold is distributed right now, chances are that yes, this will be a microtransaction currency, which that sucks.
Oh,
and not to mention,
talk.
Not to mention, I played like 5 to 10 hours, like around 5 to 10 hours of the online mode. I finished the story. I've done a few side missions, and to give you a little context, I've only earned like around $400 and about 0.82 of a gold bar.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
So do you think they're going to change the rates, or do you think they're going to stick with this?
If they want people to stick around, stick to Red Dead Online, I would say that hopefully they will change it. But I'm going off of GTA Online, which is their last game, and that game was just as bad.
And that got changed, I think, right? Over time.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Yeah. No. Like for example, one of the things I don't like is, like in both games, it's pay to win. Like in GTA Online, I was playing a few months back. I was just driving down the street. Next thing I know, I'm being gunned down by a player in a jet. So.
Yeah, but the thing is, GTA 5 Online is still making a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So that may be the reason why they decide to go for the same model. They see, okay, GTA 5 is making us a ton of money. Oh, we just keep the same model. It's going to make us a ton of money here. And they may not be wrong.
Yeah.
So,
but, personally, I only play like a few hours of GTA Online here and there. And I don't see myself playing much more of this, considering I've finished what's there, the story so far. And I'll see how they continue updating the game. So
Yeah, I'll
But
be honest with
yeah,
you. I never saw the point of playing GTA Online.
yeah, but yeah. If you have Red Dead Redemption 2, you can go play this right now. It's a free add-on. So, but if you want to play it and you don't have Red Dead 2, it'll cost you $60. So,
Yep. Okay, then let me switch on to the second game I played this week, and that's actually a recommendation from you from last week.
yeah, yeah.
So I played Darksiders 3, and man, I'm angry with you. Why did you recommend this?
Hey, it's not for everybody.
Now, so I'm not the only one disappointed here. That's one thing I should say. THQ actually issued a statement regarding all the negativity that came out towards Darksiders 3.
Huh.
So, just to give you an example, okay, right now there's 1,560 user reviews, and only 60% of them are positive. And remember, on Steam, you only get to either go positive or negative. You don't get to do something in the middle or like a star rating or something like that.
Yeah.
But the most helpful review that said 140 people found this review helpful and 14 found this review is a review that's not positive. The second is also not positive. And especially when I go to the second one, I really have to agree with this one. So, but before I read that one, I'll give my own opinion. So, this game is painfully mediocre. And that's really sad for a $60 release game. So, I will be posting a review of this tomorrow. So, I'll try not to go into that much detail to not spoil the review. But basically, the combat is mediocre. It's really slow. And that hurts it a ton. The progression system is bullshit. Like, I've never seen a more simple progression system in my whole life. Like, I think most mobile games have a more complex progression system than this. This has... The progression system on top of that has... I have no idea why it's there, because the enemies scale to you. So you could just not level at all, and you would have the same exact experience, except the numbers would be smaller. Yay! The game took, obviously, inspiration from Dark Souls. Like, so obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Your only form of defense is a dodge. But compared to Dark Souls, the dodge is really unresponsive. Like, you know, when you push dodge in Dark Souls, you dodge right away. Here it takes like at least quarter of a second. So it's not... the timing just becomes awkward because not only you're watching the enemy, but you also have to remember, okay, I will need to push it a little bit before. And on top of that, if you push it a teeny bit too early, you will get hit by the end of the attack. So often you will just get hit by enemies that have no real right to hit you. Plus, all enemy hits, even from the stupidest of monsters, interrupt your animations. And, you know, like imagine getting swarmed by like, I don't know, 7 just stupid skeletons. And the first one interrupts you. And before you get to attack, the second one interrupts you again. And then the third one, the fourth one, and you're dead. You didn't even get a chance because you got stuck in a loop of interrupted animations. That's really not fun. I have the game crash on me. I had like really big frame drops. The only thing I really like about the game is the design. Like, the graphics aren't that great. They're, I would say, again, mediocre. Like, Fury, the main character, she looks like she's made from wax. So that's not fun. The bosses are amazing, though, in design. Those look really spectacular. Like, the design that was put into them. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. And I really like the aesthetics of the game in general. You know, combination of hell, heaven, post-apocalypse. That really speaks to me. I just wish everything was a bit more polished. The game just isn't polished. Like, okay, let me give you an example with the progression system. You have 3 stats you upgrade. That's all. Literally. One of them is your health. One of them is your melee damage. One of them is your magic damage. And that's all you do. And you just, you put a point in there and it increases by 5%. Yay, that is cool now. That's... Why bother with that? Just make the game always on the same level if you want to do that. Especially if the monsters just scale up to your level.
Also, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever play the previous 2 Darksider games?
So, no, I haven't. That's one thing. But from what I read from people, those who have played them are pissed off the most because the progression systems in those were just much more better. There are only a few weapons in the game. I'm like at least 8 hours in. I have 2 weapons. One that I had from the start, and the second one I'm still using the first one because the second one is just... It has even shorter range than the first one. And the only time I use it is when I'm forced to buy the game puzzles. And man, I hate the game's puzzles. So first of all, I'm not a fan of puzzles and spectacle fighters at all. I just don't get why they are there. And I'm playing a spectacle fighter or hack and slash game, whatever you want to call it. I want to go kill monsters. I don't want to stop for 5 minutes and figure out this one stupid puzzle the developer put in. And the puzzles here, they're like super well unexplained. Like, I literally had... There were 2 times that I encountered a puzzle. 2 times I had to find a walkthrough. Because I was like, I tried everything that I can think of. And usually it was like something really dumb. So to give you an example, there's this puzzle where there's this web on the wall and you need to put it into flames so that it ignites at a specific point at a specific time. So I tried, like just normally burning it. Okay, that was too quick. It just burned too fast. Okay, so I need to find a point where I can start to burn it later. And the way you start burning webs in this game is you have these little bugs. They eat this little piece of lava. And then you throw them at the web and they explode. But you only have like 2 seconds with this bug. Otherwise it explodes in your hand. So I just like, okay, so where's the furthest point of this web where I can throw him? Okay, that's over there. I throw him over there. No, the web still burns too fast. So the solution is to put the bug in one specific place on the ground. Go to the furthest place of the web. Burn it yourself. Run to the spot that activates the thing moving. The web comes to him. Puts him on fire. He takes like 2 seconds to explode. But nobody ever tells you that the web can actually put him on fire. I was like, seriously? That's a solution? How the fuck should I know that, him being near the web that he normally puts on fire puts him on fire? No, nobody told me that. So... And I think I'm most pissed about the fact that this game costs $60.
Oh yeah, that's understandable.
If this was like a $20 game, or even a $40 game, I think I could go for a recommendation. I'll be like, yeah, this is a cool game. It does have its flaws. This isn't ideal. This isn't ideal. But yeah, it's $20. It's their try to push themselves into the double A and then triple A market. But this is a game that...
So basically, you're saying just wait for a sale if you really want to pick this up.
I don't know. Even then, it's just... There are better hack and slash games. The difference comes in from the fact that this is a game coming from a studio that should have this sort of experience. That should know how to avoid these sort of like really silly stuff that makes the game not fun. Like, again, the progression system. Did the guys that just normally design progression systems for RPGs just go to lunch? And when they came back, it was already designed and nobody ever asked them again? Like, what the fuck? You know, it's just... There are better games out there that are cheaper. So, honestly, the only reason I think I would recommend this at this point of time, if you play the previous games, if you really, really like the world and the story in Darksiders 3 actually is pretty good. I really like the story so far. So if you want to see how the story develops, go for it. But then, yes, wait for a sale. And when I mean sale, I mean like 70% sale. Certainly don't buy this for $60. Buy this for like 20 at most, I would say.
Okay.
And for my more detailed opinion, I'm probably going to be publishing a review tomorrow at the latest on Tuesday. So yeah, that's my opinion of Darksiders.
Okay.
Anything else you got to play this week?
Nope. Sure didn't.
Okay, then let's move on. Let's talk about the news. And I actually have one piece of news that I want to talk about really, really hard. And I know this week's big news is Fallout 76, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's first talk about everybody's favorite game. And I mean that almost literally these days. Fortnite. So apparently some young Fortnite players are being sent into rehab for addiction to video games. Oh, that's not good news for gamers.
No.
So apparently one mother revealed in a recent interview that her son spent like 12 hours every single day playing Fortnite. As you might imagine, that would result in him being sleepless. That means he fell asleep in class. That means his grades dropped slightly, let's call it. And obviously, she just sent his kid to rehab, and so have pretty much a good number of other parents as well. To put in another interesting tidbit of how Fortnite can be addictive, Fortnite has actually been cited as the chief cause of problems at home in divorce cases. Over 200 UK divorce cases. So yeah. Yeah, this is a big problem. We even had like a behavior specialist named Laurie Mara. He stated, "This game is like heroin. Once you get hooked, it's hard to get unhooked." So yeah, that statement I think is somewhat silly, but sure, whatever you want to say. But the big question that comes now is this the fault of Fortnite?
No.
Okay, tell us why you think no.
I think it really comes down to the parents. I mean, crap. If you're parent and your kid's playing too much of Fortnite, take away the systems, take away the phones, their tablets, whatever system that they're playing Fortnite on, take that away.
Yeah, and you know what? A famous YouTuber Ninja agrees with you. So he actually posted a tweet that said, "Terrible parents don't know how to take their kids' gaming systems away." This was in response to an article that was talking about kids going into rehab. And yeah, I agree with you both. It's not the fault of Fortnite. Fortnite is just a game. It could be any other game. It could, like, remember Minecraft? Kids were doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
It just was a game that nobody really cared about because kids were usually being creative in it. So parents were like, "Oh, but he's just building things. That's not so bad." Here they see, he's shooting somebody's head and they're like, "Oh my God, what will become of him?" No, the problem is exactly the same. You're not being good parents. You're not telling your children to not play games when they shouldn't be playing their games.
Yeah. And also, I'd also like to mention, anyone can get addicted to anything.
Yeah. Like, literally, you could get addicted literally to watching paint dry.
Yeah.
It's unlikely. I will give you that. Fortnite does have some more potential to be addictive.
Yeah.
But
and also to the parents who say that they're not addicted to anything, try going a few hours without looking at your phone. See how that works out for you.
I would go even closer to like home base. How many coffees a day you have? How many cigarettes a day you have?
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is here truly just the parents not doing their parenting and expecting their kids to be parented themselves. I actually had this argument with my fiance a few weeks ago. So we were talking about, our children and how we want to deal with them one day being on the computer / cell phone or whatever tech will we have at that point. And she was saying, I'm sort of scared that because your job is to play games on a computer, that our children will see that and they will want to do the same thing. And I'm like, yes, I understand your concerns, but that's about us telling them how much they can play. It's about how much time on electronic devices we allow them. It's literally the same, like, we're not going to allow our kids to be 12 hours a day outside. That would have the same exact effect. Imagine if your kid came back from school, let's say, at 2 p.m. And he just immediately went out, and he would come back at 2 p.m. No, 2 a.m. You still wouldn't be happy. He still would have problems with not getting enough sleep. He still wouldn't get his schoolwork done. There's no difference there.
Yep.
The only thing I'm willing to succumb here is the fact that, yes, video games, especially these days, are designed to be as addictive as they can be. There's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, seriously, if you can't tell your kid, no more gaming for you, I'm gonna unplug your PS4, computer, Xbox, Switch, gonna take away your cell phone, then you're doing your parenting job wrong. And honestly, you don't even have to take these things away. It's not like these things don't have parental control these days. Set up a password.
Yeah, that's right.
Set
up a password, set up a timer, whatever, like on the Switch. They actually have a parental control app that you can set up, and after a certain amount of time that your kid's been on the Switch, it'll automatically turn off the Switch and lock your kid out.
Yeah.
So,
it's like these tools don't exist. These tools exist even for cell phones. So you can just like be, okay, I'm going to put in this parental app. And once it's there, it will only allow you to play Fortnite for an hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
You get to keep your kid's cell phone with them so they can use it to communicate with your friends. but they will not be able
Yeah.
to play Fortnite. Just be a good parent. Do these freaking things. It's not that fucking hard.
Yeah.
Okay, and now let's go to this week's big news. Fallout 76. Man, does Diablo look good now, doesn't it?
No.
It does. It does look comparably better. So we have actually two controversies with Fallout 76. I think one of them has much more merit to it than the other. So let's start with the lesser one. So the people who bought Fallout 76 either through pre-orders or who bought it very early on, they weren't really happy with Bethesda this week. As very, very early on, the price was cut down by 42% on Amazon. That's a pretty big sale for a new game.
Yeah.
Oh, obviously, some of these people weren't really happy. They were submitting tickets to Bethesda. And actually, they got a compensation, but a compensation that they weren't happy with. They got 500 atoms. And can you tell us what atoms are since you played the game?
Yeah, pretty much they're the in-game currency if you want to buy cosmetic microtransactions. You can use atoms to buy these, and 500 atoms is equivalent to $5.
So
and
not
you
much.
can't buy that much. Yeah, and you can't buy that much for 500 items. So
yeah, so that's pretty much a controversy. The fact that these people were, well, sort of screwed over. But I gotta say this. Talk. Say.
Honestly, me being someone that actually pre-ordered the game like 2 weeks in advance, I'm not mad because I was like I pre-ordered it with my own volition, and if you're mad about this, stop pre-ordering games. Wait for a sale. Wait to see how it does in about a week or two.
Yeah, that's the solution. Don't pre-order games. It's not that hard. It's not like you haven't been burned in the past.
Yep.
But I can sort of understand their anger. It's not really that common for companies to slash the price that heavily very, very early on.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that is just bad here is, honestly, I think it would have been handled better if Bethesda was just like, you know what? No, you purchased the game. You knew what you were getting for what price. Here's no compensation. But the fact that they gave out a compensation sort of acknowledging their own error, I think that's what actually turned this into a thing. And the fact that it was such a ridiculously stupid compensation. So yeah. Next up, the second Fallout 76 controversy. And this one, I think, is actually rather serious. Yeah. Even though, I think to an outside person, this one would seem much more silly. So, there was a collector's edition for Fallout 76, obviously. And one of the things that were supposed to be included in it was a West Tech Canvas duffel bag. I honestly don't know West Tech Canvas. Do you know them?
No.
But apparently they're supposed to be making these really good, high-quality bags. But the bags people got were pretty shitty bags made from nylon, which is not a good quality material. And they didn't even look anything like the ones that were originally posted as.
Nope.
So, which is sort of surprising to me. Initially, Bethesda was like, yeah, we're not going to compensate anyone about this. It's just, we had to cut costs because the West Tech Canvas bags were too expensive. yeah, obviously that didn't roll over well. There was even bigger controversy. The backlash was too much. And then they were like, okay, so we're going to compensate people. I think at this point you can guess how.
Yep, 500 atoms.
Yes, they again decided to give people $5. You need to remember, this was a $200 edition of the game. And if I remember correctly, it didn't even come with the game, did it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does. But there's one edition that doesn't come with the game. So that's even more ridiculous. But yeah, $5 for this? No way, Jose.
Yeah. And not to mention,
Mm-hmm.
if you go and look at their advertisements, they still have the canvas bag listed and not the nylon bag, and they also did not let people know that they were switching. They just switched the bags without telling their customers about it.
Yeah. So that's obviously a problem, and this is a very clear case of false advertising, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a more clear case of false advertisement, to be honest.
Yeah.
We should warn people, though, if you do accept the 500 atoms, most likely, legally, you are voiding your right to legal recourse, which means you will not be able to join any lawsuits against Bethesda. And I think there's a good chance that there will be a class action lawsuit against Bethesda because of this.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I really don't understand, though, is they said they had to do it because of costs. Okay, I can understand that these bags are probably expensive. I'm gonna bet that they are at least $50 each, the bag itself. Because from what I saw in the ad, they looked like good quality bags. And bags, if you want a good one, they aren't cheap, man. They can go like... The bag I have currently was at least $150. But obviously they will be getting a wholesale price, so getting it cheaper. But don't you calculate this shit before you put a price tag on the edition? Like, you should have known how much Westtech would have been asking for these. You should have known that for all the stuff in the package. Then you just like, okay, so it cost us $170 to make, then we can sell it for $200. If it costs you $215 to make, you sell it for $250.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the gamer's fault that you're bad at math and pretty basic math to top that off.
Yeah, I think that what really makes me mad about this is they do not let their customers know about them switching materials.
Yeah, and I think a good portion of the people who were ordering this were actually ordering this for the bag. The rest of the stuff in the package, while somewhat cool, what is actually in there? Okay, Fallout 76.
You have the power armor helmet, the glow in the dark map, steelbook case of the game with the game inside, and the duffel bag.
Yeah, and some like figurines, I think.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously you want a power armor hat. That's something you put on display if you're a big, huge Fallout fan, just in general. The map is also cool. I really think you can frame that. Sure. The book and the figurines, I couldn't care less. I think most people. But a duffel bag is something you can actually use. It's not just something that sits there. It's something like. I'm going to a music festival. So where do I put my stuff? I put it in this Fallout 76 bag because I'm a huge Fallout fan. I'm going to TwitchCon. Where do I put my stuff? In this Fallout 76 bag. But now, no, I'm not. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, shoot. I remember, I think it was like back in 2017, when Persona 5 came out,
Mm-hmm.
they actually had, I think it was like around $80 to $100 for a collector's edition.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, you got like a good quality bag out of that too. And of course, thankfully, they didn't false advertise. They actually provided a good quality bag.
Yeah. So it's not something that's undoable. It's just
Yeah.
And to add insult to injury, it was found out that I actually gave even better quality bags to some influencers at the Fallout 76 Greenbrier event. So, but there I wouldn't really blame Bethesda for anything. It's pretty commonplace to just give out shit to influencers.
Yeah.
And that thing happened before the release, so they obviously couldn't have known about what kind of a deal this will be, even though they should have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wouldn't really connect these two things. It was just unfortunate timing for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, here, you can see we're trying to be fair to Bethesda, but they just screwed up royally. And again, I really want to compare this to Blizzard's controversy that we talked about the past few weeks. That was just a PR problem. That was them deciding to announce something in a way that it shouldn't have been announced in.
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda actually screwed over their consumers. And that just makes me sad because Bethesda otherwise is one of my favorite companies.
Same here.
They're on the top there with Blizzard, I would say. And I know Blizzard has its own faults, and yes, there's Diablo, but I just really like Blizzard's games. I will not lie, I think they make good games. But yeah.
Yeah, they do.
But seriously, Bethesda, get your shit together and fix this. Just
really.
Honestly, at this point, you should just take the financial loss. It's not going to be that much in the end. Like, how many of these could have been sold? Like, let's be pretty generous. Let's say 100,000 of them were sold. And there, I think I'm still being overly generous. I think realistically, it's more like 10,000. Because not that many people buy $200 editions of games. So let's go somewhere in the middle. Let's say 50,000. And you need to pay, I know, $100 on a duffel bag. Yes, it's $5 million. It's your own fault. You need to take the financial loss. If you don't do this, people will be really pissed with you. And if you do actually this and you just like, okay, we're really sorry, everybody who bought this will get an extra good quality bag. Here it is. We're really, really sorry. We screwed up. Please forgive us.
Yeah.
But I don't think they will do that. Because Fallout 76 is not doing well, man.
No, it's not.
But okay, let's move away from Fallout 76 and let's talk about the Nintendo Switch for a second here. So apparently, according to a new financial forecast, it seems that Nintendo's Switch will outsell all the other consoles in 2019. This is coming out from a research by Strategy Analytics. And they think that Switch sales will come at around 17.3 million, while the PS4 will be around 17.1 million, and the Xbox One will be at around 10 million. So, well, what do you think of this?
Yeah. Switch being a new console, and not to mention, with them coming out with another Pokemon game next year, and coming out with a Smash this coming up week, they got some good system sellers there. So,
yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Switch went over 20 million next year.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I think they're overestimating the numbers for the PS4. just because we're getting so close to the end of the life cycle of the PS4.
Yeah.
I think people will be mostly waiting or buying used consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they count the used sales in this as well, though I doubt that. But we'll have to see, yeah. And I do wish Nintendo some luck.
Oh, yeah.
Because they deserve it. The Switch is a really good console.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and coming up to our last piece of news for this week. The Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, will be starting an investigation against loot boxes. This has been confirmed by Joseph Simmons, the FTC chairman, and this is because of a request by Senator Maggie Hassan, who, if you care about that, is a Democrat and comes from North Hampshire. So if you don't know, actually, Mrs. Hassan has been on a crusade, let's call it, against loot boxes for quite some time. She actually said during a subcommittee hearing, loot boxes are now endemic in the video game industry, and they are present in everything from casual smartphone games to the newest high-budget releases. She also referred to a research indicating that loot boxes will be a $50 billion industry by 2022. The Entertainment Software Association, if you don't know what that is, that's an association that represents video game developers, publishers, and others that could be affected by legislation that could come out against loot boxes. Essentially, they're lobbyists for the video game industry. They issued a statement saying that the organization thinks that loot boxes do not constitute gambling, stressing that they are entirely optional to purchase. So what? How does that matter if they're gambling? Gambling is also optional. It's not like somebody's there with a gun to your head saying, "You have to play this you have to play this roulette." You can just be like, "I want to go to a casino." But people still go. And we ban children from going there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the most funny statement is the ESA said, loot boxes can enhance the experience for those who choose to use them, but have no impact on those who do not. And while technically that statement is mostly true, apart from a few games that use loot boxes for pay-to-win purposes, it is technically true that if you don't care about cosmetics in your games, then you don't have to buy them, and it doesn't affect your gameplay. That's at least the ideal circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
But holy fuck, you don't understand the people, or you do, but you're trying to look like, but that's not the case. It's not like they're affecting anyone. No, it's not like they're affecting anyone, but just fucking watch the old South Park episode. They did the best job at explaining this. And they did it like, how long is that? How long is that since the microtransaction episode? Like years? When did that come out? Freemium isn't free. It came in 2014. It's 4 years since that came out.
Yeah.
It's just baffling that it took governments so long to understand this. And the FTC is just really late to the party. It's been a year since Battlefront 2. Several American states looked into this. Several countries in Europe looked into this, and yeah, but at least better late than never, I guess.
Yeah.
So obviously we don't have any results because the investigation is just starting. But once we do have them, we will certainly report about them. Okay, and I think that brings us to the end of the news section. And or is there something I missed? I don't think so.
No, no. You pretty much
Okay,
covered all the stuff. So,
then let's talk recommendations for next week. Would you like to go first?
yeah. First off, I like to recommend Just Cause. Oh, excuse me. Just Cause 4. It's coming out Tuesday, December 4th. It's coming out for PS4, PC, and Xbox One. And it's a sequel to it's the newest game in Just Cause series. We can go and blow crap up. So,
You know, this
like
used
that
to be
kinda,
the job of GTA. Remember those days when if you wanted to blow shit up, you played Grand Theft Auto.
yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to see new montages of people doing crazy shit in Just Cause.
Oh yeah. Yeah, really.
I think my favorite ones are whenever people just put bombs onto people's asses and then blow them in the air.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I can't wait to see that in even better graphics.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So when is this coming out?
December 4th for $6 for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So
Okay, so $59.99, yeah, in a day and 22 hours according to Steam. Okay, the first game I would like to recommend is called Jacked Alliance Rage. And if you're an old school PC gamer, man, you do know what Jacked Alliance is. It's turn-based tactic games with a little bit of adventure thrown in there just for good measure. I will say this, I personally will not play this. I'm not a fan of tactics games for the most part. I don't have the patience for them. But people who love all these games will certainly enjoy them. Remember, there's a lot of gore in Jagged Alliance. There's a lot of adult humor. So this is not a game you should give your children. This is coming out on the 6th. And sadly, I don't see the price here. It would be very nice if this game came out for $40 or less. But I really do not know. Okay, anything else you got to recommend?
Yeah, my last recommendation is Smash Ultimate for the Switch.
So yeah, what is Smash Ultimate if anybody doesn't know by some weird miracle?
Pretty much it's a crossover fighting game with both Nintendo characters and a few third-party characters. And in this game, all characters from previous games plus some new characters you can play in this one.
So this is the one that's also getting like a PvE mode, right?
What's that?
If I remember correctly, it's also getting like a PvE mode where there's that weird.
You're talking about adventure mode.
Yeah.
World of Light. Yeah.
That had the most amazing trailer I have seen in a long while, man.
Yeah.
Just everybody
awesome.
getting fucked except Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because why not Kirby, yeah. I guess. Like, when you watched that trailer for the first time, did you expect Kirby to be the survival?
No, I did not.
But yeah, seriously, go watch that trailer. It's amazing.
Yes, it's the World of Light trailer. It's friggin' awesome. And if you have a Switch, chances are that you'll be picking up this game. That's actually one of the reasons why I got a Switch last year, because I knew Smash was coming to Light. Gotta get it.
And I think most people don't know this, but Smash actually has a pretty big esports community out there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's the most popular fighting game out there.
Yep. There's actually a Smash game that I actually discovered what hype was. And that was with the Brawl.
Yeah.
back in '08. So.
Okay, when is it coming out?
Friday, December 7th.
And I'm gonna assume that's
For
gonna be $60. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I got one more game to recommend as well, and this is a game that is called Whimsical Quest. That's just an awesome name for a game, don't you think? So this is a retro action roguelike adventure game with enough nostalgia to entertain the old schoolers. So yeah, roguelike game, and with like graphics that look like they're coming from the year 2-3. But honestly, I don't mind that. I think it actually looks good. Yeah. Okay, let me rephrase that. The game looks so shitty, it looks good. If that makes sense. And I'm actually going to message the developer right after the show and hopefully get a copy for myself so I can make a review of this. This looks like totally my kind of thing. So, Whimsical Quest is coming out in 21 hours tomorrow. Sadly, we do not have a price. I'm hoping it's coming for a maximum of $20, hopefully cheaper. And that's it for the recommendations. And that brings us to the last section of today's show.
Yes.
Which is shilling.
Yep.
Let's do some shilling. I'll start if you don't mind. You can find me at Kralizec Gaming on YouTube, where I make reviews. Tomorrow there will be a review of Darksiders 3. Remember, it's going to be pretty negative. And you can also find me at Steemit at Kralizec, where I also post my reviews if you prefer Steemit-based content. And you can also find my science articles there through Resteams. It's your turn.
Alright, you can find me on YouTube as Tygergamer. Right now I'm doing a Let's Play of the Spire Reignite trilogy, which that's a good blast from the past. And if you like Steemit content, you can find me on Steemit as Tygergamer as well. So.
And with that being said, we thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed today's show. And if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Steemit, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment, and be sure to tune in next time for more gaming news. See you guys later with more gaming content.
Yeah, have a good one.